experience pleasure, relaxation, joy, is controlled, scientists now say, by chemical reactions in pleasure centers in the brain. The brain's natural chemistry regulates our sense of well-being, energy, euphoria, controls how we experience the thrill of competition, the feeling of pride, power, our feelings of excitement, exhilaration. The latest research shows it is precisely in these pleasure centers of the brain where alcohol and cocaine create addiction, change the brain chemistry, offer exaggerated lows and false highs. Because alcohol is not in powder form, we don't think of it as a drug, but it is a drug in liquid form. The latest research shows that alcohol and cocaine create addiction in much the same way. They change your brain physically, alter its chemistry, so that from then on, you will feel bad or hurt if you don't get more of the drug. They create a physical need which was not there before. Scientists are reluctant to define addiction according to any specific amount of a drug used. Any use enough to cause repeated change in behavior, they're finding, is cause for worry. And they're now finding there are many people who inherit a physical predisposition for severe addiction. Scientists report that between 7 and 10% of Americans are at high genetic risk for alcoholism. And there's now evidence that cocaine addiction may be genetically influenced as well. And even if your parents never drank or used cocaine, they may still have passed on to you this physical predisposition. Scientists cannot yet tell for sure just who is at genetic risk. So anyone who tries alcohol or cocaine is taking an even bigger chance than we previously thought. Take Peter Rector of Portsmouth, Rhode Island.
Everybody in your division qualifies for the tournament, don't they?
He's married, father of 2, a successful business, and a severe addiction.
Because I was always giving the impression that everything was great, always on time for work. Family life was great. On the other hand, yeah, I was having a lot of problems myself, and it was all alcohol.
Peter Rector, recovering alcoholic, says he's also the son of an alcoholic. We're now learning alcoholism's family ties travel through the genes. Children inherit physical traits for which alcohol happens to be deadly, no matter how strong your character.
What physical dependency isn't just that you shake in the morning after a hard night's drinking. The physical dependency is that your brain starts making decisions about alcohol seeking without bothering to consult you.
I would fall asleep like at, after several drinks at, like 9, 10 o'clock and wake up at 12, 1 o'clock in front of the TV with its, a test pattern type thing. And I would have the kids make me drink so that I wouldn't have to get up and go get my own drinks, That's the pattern I get into towards the end.
Used to get up in the middle of the night, come down and have a couple of beers, 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, I didn't do that.
Go back up to bed. He doesn't remember it. The kids and I have seen the evidence. He doesn't remember. To this day, he denies that he did it.
No, I didn't.
But we'd come down in the morning, and there'd be the beer bottles all over the table, and he doesn't remember that he ever did it.
No, I never did. I never did get up in the middle of the night and go down and have a drink. I never did that.
1 in 3 American families is affected by alcohol abuse. This family suffered for 15 years.
My existence was painful. There was no family life. Everything was so one-sided. There was a lack of balance. There was a lack of love. We had no marriage. Start right there.
Children of alcoholics are 4 times more likely to develop alcoholism than the children of non-alcoholics. And the parents' behavior is now considered less a factor than simple genetics.
What are the causes of alcoholism? One cause of alcoholism and heart disease is genetic. Alcoholism runs strongly in families for genetic rather than environmental reasons.
Parents like the Rectors, knowing about this genetic link, naturally worry about their kids. Scientists can't yet tell for sure which children are genetically at higher risk, but they have made one breakthrough. They've discovered there are two different types of genetic alcoholism, one much worse than the other. The less severe type 1 can pass from mother or father to son or daughter, and usually starts after age 25. The much more severe type 2 goes only from father to son, male to male, and can begin as early as age 11 or 12. It takes hold very quickly and can produce violent behavior.
The type 2 alcoholic is someone who has a history of petty criminality, who has some difficulties controlling impulsivity, someone who is highly impulsive and relatively volatile.
When I drink, man, it's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. Instead of me being a sloppy drunk, I'm a hostile person.
Michael Webb is the son of an alcoholic and an alcoholic himself. 2 months ago, he sought help and volunteered for a study conducted by Dr. Henry Begleiter. He started drinking at age 12, 11 years ago. Begleiter suspects Webb is a type 2 alcoholic. To help determine this, sensors are attached to record brainwave activity. Fluid injected in the cap to improve skin contact of the sensors. In a soundproof booth, volunteers are given sound and light stimuli. The sensors monitor their brainwave responses. Scientists are finding that sons of type 2 alcoholics are 9 times more likely to develop alcoholism than are children of non-alcoholics.
So this distinction is a very important distinction, something which we didn't know 2 or 3 years ago. This is essentially brand new data.
Scientists are also finding the sons of type 2 alcoholics show consistently greater brain abnormalities, even those who've never had a drink. This suggests a genetic link so strong, contact with alcohol carries the threat of severe addiction.
Some people are absolutely defenseless against alcoholism, that as soon as they start to drink, they get into trouble with it. Others seem to have to drink for even several decades before they begin to have problems, and I suspect that may have to do with genetic transmission of these risk factors.
The risk when you use cocaine is for an addiction that locks in even faster. Both alcohol and cocaine, we now know, create addiction in the brain by altering its chemistry. Just a few years ago, we thought cocaine was only psychologically addicting.
And many people thought of that as meaning that cocaine wasn't that dangerous, that it might be something like potato chips, something that people liked because they liked it, they used it a lot, but something that could be stopped. We know now that cocaine exerts its effects through causing changes in the brain. We've seen changes occurring that are real physical and physiological.
Bob Adler felt those physical changes. He tried cocaine and became an addict immediately.
There isn't a drug addict or an alcoholic on the face of the earth that I've ever known, including myself, that thought that they would get addicted the first time that they ever used the drug. Nobody thinks they're going to get addicted. Everybody thinks they can control it. It's just not so.
With the drug controlling him, Adler spent 10 years stealing and dealing before he finally stopped cocaine. Married now, a steady job selling radio equipment, he still fears cocaine's powerful grip.
Because of the euphoric feeling that you get from the drug, what happens is it's a very quick cycle. 10 or 15 minutes, you're up, you're down. The brain wants to go back up again because it's just slightly down from normal. So you do more of the drug.
Current addiction studies on animals at the National Institute on Drug Abuse point toward a powerful genetic factor, a physical predisposition to cocaine addiction. One family line of mice chose never to push the lever which delivers the drug. Others can't stop. Some animals in laboratory tests will ingest cocaine until they die. Bob Adler also could not stop. Users say cocaine's grip on the brain is so strong that even the worst experiences don't scare them away. Adler saw a friend take a fatal overdose.
And we went to move him, and we noticed that there was blood that was coming out of his ear that was on the floor, and it was kind of thick and very, very red is really all I remember. The guy who owned the shooting gallery, we went to start to take him out. We were going to take him to a hospital. So he checks him. He says, this guy's dead. You're not taking him anywhere. They took him to the back of the apartment of the shooting gallery, opened up a window, and dumped him out the window. And he just took a dive out into the back, and they left him there. I mean, that's what cocaine can do.
Exactly how cocaine and alcohol produce that kind of detachment in the brain, how they manipulate and break the brain's natural chemicals, the mind's clarity, and the whole body's delicate balance, we'll see in a moment.